the Jags pull off the third largest comeback in NFL playoff history. The Jacksonville Jags survive and move on. Here's head coach Doug Peterson after the incredible comeback win.
My hat's off to our guys, our team. I told them after the game that, other than obviously winning the Super Bowl a few years ago, greatest coaching victory as a team, this one's right up there with it. And my hat's off to our guys for just battling. And, as deep a hole as we dug in the first half, there was you guys have, been around our team, there's no quit in our guys. And they did an outstanding job, obviously, in the second half. And Riley kicking that ball at the end was obviously a thing of beauty.
Welcome to NFL Rewind. Tim Hasselbeck, Damian Woody. I'm Wendy Nixon. If ever there was a living, breathing example of no quit, it was the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight, Tim.
I mean, it's remarkable. I mean, Doug's talking about it. Like the hole that they dug themselves was incredible. I mean, there was a point where it just felt like it was an avalanche of points. 27-0 at one point. A lot of people would quit and walk away. They certainly didn't.
The Seattle 49ers game seemed like it was a week ago. After that game. I mean, wow. I think people don't understand the amount of things that have to go right in order to make that type of comeback that the Jacksonville Jaguars did in this game. That touchdown right before half, to me, was the Kickstarter into what was to come in the second half of the Jaguars.
It's funny you talk about the amount of things that have to go right, because it's sort of hard to overestimate the amount of things that went wrong in the first half if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's take a look at how we got here. Whew, it does seem like a week ago, even with this game. The Chargers and the Jags, and this is why they call it Super Wild Card Weekend. Don't forget, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert both getting their first playoff start. Now, here's the opening series for the Jags. 2nd and 6 from their 28. Lawrence drops back looking for Christian Kirk, instead picked off, Tim.
It's a run-pass option, and it's a really bad decision by Trevor. He should hand it off. Instead, he tries to throw it. Doesn't find a throwing lane. It gets tipped, picked, and it's an awful start for Jacksonville.
Tips or picks, we know that. That was both. Chargers get the ball in the red zone, and here they come. 2nd and 5 from the 13, and this is why, Damian, you can't give a team extra opportunity.
Yeah, all Austin Eckler does is score touchdowns. I mean, especially you get in the red zone area like that.
All right, Chargers up 7-0 early, so here's the next Jaguars drive, going for it on 4th and 7. Deja vu. Lawrence drops back, this time to Zay Jones, and picked off. Tim, again, Asante Samuel Jr. this time.
Yeah, Samuel Jr. is there because the corner stop route by Zay Jones. Contact at the top of the route, doesn't get enough separation. Ball's already out of Trevor's hand. He doesn't like that there was no call.
He doesn't, and they won't like the way this goes either. Chargers with the ball back, 2nd and 7. Herbert, the sidearm throw out to Gerald Everett. He makes the cuts, upfield, gets a gain, a pickup of 23. The Chargers are moving the chains, almost making it look easy. They tack on a field goal. It's 10-0. Jags with the ball back, and pay attention, Tim, to Samuel Jr. again.
Yeah, pay attention to him in zone coverage. That's not what Trevor did. He wasn't paying attention to him. Throws it right to him, was expecting man. Obviously wasn't. Samuel Jr. does a great job of just reading Trevor's eyes, coming up with a pick.
2nd interception for Samuel Jr., and that's number 3 for Lawrence. If you're keeping tabs, first player in the Super Bowl era to throw 3 picks in the first quarter of a playoff game. Herbert to Eckler. What'd you say he did, Damian? Score touchdowns.
All he does is score touchdowns. When you get down by the goal line, that's who you want to hand the ball off to, number 30.
And to think that was the first quarter. Whew. Not the start you're looking for if you're Jacksonville, and that's to say the least. Jags with the ball, 3rd and 3. Lawrence can't find anything open. Sacked by Joseph Day and Kenneth Murray Jr. The Jags will have to punt. Here come the Chargers again. 3rd and 11 from the Jags 46. Herbert to Keenan Allen, a big pickup, 23 yards, Tim.
Yeah, really big pickup. Just drives the football right up the seam to Keenan Allen and finds a soft spot in the zone.
You get the sense a touchdown here, and this one could get out of hand in a hurry. Herbert connects with Everett, turns upfield, he's in. And Damian, now we're talking about a 24-0 advantage.
Absolutely, saw the crossing right there, delivered the ball, touchdown, Everett.
Lawrence looking, Ingram, picked off again. This has got to be his worst nightmare, and again, it is the first playoff start for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, it was a bad decision. Had Zay Jones open on the shallow cross, and then a bad throw and another nice interception. by Asante Samuel Jr., and yes, that's 3.
Yep, if you're doing the math at home, that is the number. Under 6 minutes left in the first half. Chargers out to punt. J.K. Scott boots it away, bounces off with Jag, and the Chargers come up with the ball. I mean, what else, Damian, can go wrong for this Jaguars team?
You talk about a nightmare scenario. You got your quarterback throwing 4 interceptions. Then your special teams let you down in this particular situation. And you got the Chargers knocking at the door again.
Whew, they got to feel like they are in control. Jags go for it on 4th and 1 here from their 27. Lawrence to Marvin Jones Jr. Finally, we got a first down, and Jags are in the red zone. A few plays later, 2nd and 5 from the 9. Lawrence to Ingram. This time they connect. It's a touchdown, and 27-7. At least Jacksonville goes into the half on the board after a Chargers punt. Jags with the ball, 2nd and 5. Lawrence to Ingram. Here they come, finding some momentum. Jaguars on the move. 2nd and 5 from the Chargers 46. Is a few plays later, Tim. Lawrence to Ingram underneath, and he gets a pickup of 24.
Yeah, nice grab, and then a good job of keeping the speed up on the shallow cross for some extra run after catch.
All right, 3rd and goal here. Lawrence to a wide open Marvin Jones Jr. Jags trail, but it's 27-14. Will we have a ball game? Jags back with the ball now, trailing 30-14. Lawrence drops back, launches it, Damian, to a wide open Zay Jones.
Yeah, this was actually an audible. You know, Trevor Lawrence saw something with the defense, called an audible, and what a beautiful pass that was.
To the 4th quarter we go. All right, settle down, Chargers. Settle in. Herbert looking, can't find anything down the field. He'll take it himself, takes off. And the Chargers trying to regain the momentum they had in that first half before things got out of whack here. Chargers drive stalls. Cameron Dicker out to attempt the 40-yard field goal, and you feel the tide turning, guys. It is wide left, and the Jags get the ball back. Ensuing Jacksonville drive, 2nd and 10 from the Chargers 47. Lawrence hooks up with Christian Kirk. No interception here, instead a 17-yard gain. 2nd and goal from the 9. If it works once, go do it again. Lawrence throws it out to Kirk. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 30-26. Then watch this. Joey Bosa slams his helmet walking off the field. There is a flag, and it will push the ball to the 1, so they go for 2. A huge error on the part of Bosa.
Huge error, and it's still a gutsy move by Doug Peterson to go for 2 there.
Chargers trying to settle this thing. 3rd and 13 from their own 22. Dumps it down to Joshua Kelly. No first down, and the Chargers have to punt. Just over 3 minutes to play. Jags back with the ball. Lawrence hits Kirk underneath. Turns up. He does get the first down. Same drive. 3rd and 1 from the Chargers 41. Lawrence drops back, looking for Kirk. Comes up short. Jags will go for it on 4th down. 4th and 1. Lawrence to Travis Etienne Jr. on a sweep, turns upfield, makes it all the way, Tim, to the Jags 16 as we take another look.
Yeah, pretty good play call here. I think everyone's expecting the sneak. Nice block on the perimeter by Zay Jones and Etienne's speed.
And he stayed in bounds.
Whew. Just as everything went wrong, it goes right in the second half for Jacksonville. Riley Patterson out to kick the 36-yard field goal for the win. The kick is up. It is good. Jags complete the comeback. Staley can't believe it. Peterson loves it. Herbert can just watch. They come back from a 27-0 deficit to beat the Chargers. The final tally, 31-30. Here's Mo post-game reaction. There we go. First we take another. I mean, look at these numbers. I mean, talk about a tale of 2 halves.
They both scored. I mean, listen, 43 attempts for Herbert, 47 for Trevor Lawrence with how that started.
Here's Lindsey Theory now with Christian Kirk after the game.
Christian, you guys rally from a 27-point deficit. How?
It's just unbelievable. This has been the story of our season. Just being down, counted out at times. But this team has never lost belief, whether it's in a game, throughout the season. We never lost belief. We just believe in one another. And just so proud of everybody. This is amazing.
I can't even believe, honestly. Like, this is crazy.
You're not the only one.
But just credit to our guys, man. Just credit to our coaches. Credit, we're not done. That's all I really got.
Well, the Jaguars complete a crazy comeback after 5 turnovers in the first half. They trailed 27-0, the third largest comeback win in NFL postseason history after the Bills' 32-point comeback in the 1992 Wild Card game against the Oilers and the Colts' 28-point comeback over the Chiefs. That was the 2013 Wild Card game. We so often talk about having short memory, Damian, of putting disaster behind you. Even so, for Trevor Lawrence to throw 4 interceptions in the first half, to have everything go wrong, come back over, second half to be played, pretty impressive.
Short memory, I think he had amnesia. Honestly, I think he had to have amnesia. I mean, you talk about a young quarterback, a quarterback in his second year, to throw 4 interceptions in one half. Most guys were going to a shell. Let's just be honest. Most guys would go into a shell, and the game would be over. But I think you got to credit a couple things. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence for being able to put the first half behind him and go out there and play magnificent. But also, you got to credit Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's a former quarterback, obviously the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I guarantee you that relationship between Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence helped Trevor Lawrence moving forward after that disastrous first half. And Wendy, like I said at the beginning, that touchdown before half was critical.
Huge,
critical, because it gave them some type of momentum going into halftime. And once they came out, they just kept putting plays together. They kept stacking plays. And you just saw the confidence slowly build with Trevor Lawrence.
I would think it would be huge not to go in with a big 0 on the scoreboard at the half. And tell me, you're a quarterback. You know, look, I know you're supposed to do it, and you say you ought to do it, but how difficult is it after that first half performance to do what Trevor Lawrence did?
I think it's nearly impossible. I'm glad Damian brought up the point of, Doug Peterson, probably a calming presence in terms of that relationship, having kind of been in a situation before where maybe you don't get off to a great start. But to put it in perspective, I can't say that I ever can recall a quarterback playing that poorly and then turning it around the way that Trevor Lawrence turned around. And when you look at these, interceptions at the beginning of the game, it could not have been worse. Here's a good example. This is an RPO that should have been handed off. The ball should be handed to Travis Etienne. So it's a bad decision there, which leads to an interception. That's the second play of the game. Then we have zone coverage. You are running shallow crosses. You're expecting man. When you don't get it, you have to be the eyes for the receiver. Can't lead him blindly out in front. Then it's 3rd and 10. How about Zay Jones on the shallow cross? Let him run for the first down. For some reason, he passes it up, tries to push the ball down the field, and there's all kinds of traffic there. Like that start for Trevor was awful. And it was to the point where I'm watching and thinking, he's not going to be able to sleep tonight. In fact, this is going to ruin his entire offseason. Like the idea of him being able to pull himself out of it at that point. Think about this. Before that last drive, he was 4 of 16, and he had thrown 4 interceptions.
Right.
I mean, it was a disaster. So to pull yourself out of it, I can't even describe how difficult that is.
And I said to you guys, as happy as he is, I think there's got to be a palpable sense of relief that a first half like that did not ultimately cost this team the game. I mean, you can legitimately put it behind you.
I mean, the one thing I was telling Tim was imagine you going through that, you throwing 4 interceptions, and then you play the way you did in the second half. That's got to be empowering as a quarterback, knowing that all the mistakes I made, and I was still able to make enough plays to come out and win that football game.
On the other end of this spectrum, of course, is to be